Here's an example of a full body strength and power development workout. The first movement is going to be a trap bar jump. The trap bar jump is going to allow us to develop that power characteristic that we're looking for, as long as we keep the fatigue fairly low. What I see going wrong quite often is people performing quite a few repetitions and not enough rest. And that way the fatigue accumulates very fast and they're not able to put out a lot of power output. And if you're not putting out a lot of power output, you're not getting the power development out of the movement. So just keep that in mind. The next movement is mainly a core movement. So it's an anti-rotational core movement. It's half kneeling plate chop. And I like to superset this with my power movements just because it helps the training session move along and it also doesn't interfere with each other too much. The next movement I have here is my trap bar deadlift. So this is my main lower body strength movement for this day. And I did quite a few repetitions on this, comparatively speaking, because it's more so, let's just say in the earlier phases of training, comparatively speaking to later phases of training where you're going to be doing lower repetitions. Now, this movement here is 3-point dumbbell row. So the 3-point dumbbell row supersetted with the trap bar deadlift. I typically don't do that too often just because I don't like the grip intensity of it being overloaded for both movements. Now, because the reps were fairly high on the trap bar deadlift, my grip wasn't taxed as much. But I really like the 3-point dumbbell row because it has a good dynamic core stability component to it, comparatively speaking to if you were doing this from a bench. So these two movements supersetted together are a good combination, especially if the grip isn't too taxed from it. The next two movements, starting off with this one, the dumbbell bench press. I like the dumbbell bench press movement, comparatively speaking, to the barbell in the early phases of training when I'm trying to work out imbalances for my clients, or if somebody has mobility restrictions or stability restrictions in their shoulder. This helps develop some stability and it helps work around some mobility limitations that they may have in their shoulder, comparatively speaking to a barbell where you're kind of locked into place and position. The next movement here is the supported single leg dumbbell RDL. So the support allows me to get more load and intensity in this movement, comparatively speaking, if I was not using a support. Here, you still get a dynamic stability component in the hip, but you also get to load it up fairly heavily. I like to go pretty fast on these on the way up just because you get more power development out of it. But yeah, so that's the whole entire workout. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.